As promised, this video is about consents. What is a consent? Consents or releases are legal documents that indicate the client's permission to perform surgery, perform a treatment or procedure, or give information to a third party. And there are different types of consents. 1. Admission agreement. This can be obtained at the time of admission and identify the healthcare agency's responsibility to the client. 2. Immunization consent may be required before the administration of certain immunizations. The consent indicates that the client was informed of the benefits and risks of the immunization. 3. Blood transfusion consent indicates that the client was informed of the benefits and risks of the transfusion. Some clients hold religious beliefs that would prohibit them from receiving a blood transfusion, even in a life-threatening situation. 4th, surgical consent is obtained for all surgical or invasive procedures or diagnostic tests that are invasive. The primary healthcare provider, usually the surgeon or anesthesiologist, who performs the operative or other procedure, is responsible for explaining the procedure, its risks and benefits, and possible alternative options. 5th, research consent obtains permission from the client regarding participation in a research study. Consent informs the client about the possible risks, consequences, and benefits of the research. 6. Special consents are required for the use of restraints, photographing the client, disposal of body parts during surgery, donating organs after death, or performing an autopsy. Informed consent indicates the client's participation in the decision regarding healthcare. It is the client's approval or that of the client's legal representative to have their body touched by a specific individual. The client must be informed in understandable terms of the risks and benefits of the surgery or treatment, what the consequences are for not having the surgery or procedure performed, treatment options, and the name of the healthcare professional performing the surgery or procedure. A client's questions about the surgery or procedure must be answered before signing the consent. A consent must be signed freely by the client without threat or pressure and must be witnessed. The witness must be an adult. A client who has been medicated with sedating medications or any other medications that can affect the client's cognitive abilities must not be asked to sign a consent. Legally, the client must be mentally and emotionally competent to give consent. If a client is declared mentally or emotionally incompetent, the next of kin, appointed guardian, appointed by the court, or durable power of attorney for healthcare has legal authority to give consent. A competent client, 18 years of age or older, must sign the consent. And who are those mentally or emotionally incompetent clients? Those are declared incompetent, unconscious, under the influence of chemical agents such as alcohol or drugs. Those who have chronic dementia or other mental deficiency that impairs thought processes and ability to make decisions. In most states, when the nurse is involved in the informed consent process, the nurse is witnessing only the signature of the client on the informed consent form. An informed consent can be waived for urgent medical or surgical intervention as long as institutional policy so indicates. A client has the right to refuse information and waive the informed consent and undergo treatment, but this decision must be documented in the medical record. A client may withdraw consent at any time. An informed consent. It is a legal document and the client must be informed by the primary healthcare professional in understandable terms of the risks and benefits of surgery, treatments, procedures, and plan of care. The client needs to be a participant in decisions regarding healthcare. Minor clients. A minor is a client under legal age as defined by state statute, usually younger than 18 years. They may not give legal consent, and consent must be obtained from a parent or the legal guardian. Agreement by the minor is important because it always or allows for communication of the minor's thoughts and feelings. Parental or guardian consent should be obtained before treatment is initiated for a minor, except in the following cases. In an emergency, in situations in which the consent of the minor is sufficient, including treatment related to substance abuse, treatment of a sexually transmitted infection, human immunodeficiency virus testing, and acquired immunodeficiency syndrome treatment, birth control services, pregnancy, or psychiatric services. The minor is an emancipated minor, or a court order or other legal authorization has been obtained. What is an emancipated minor? An emancipated minor has established independence from his or her parents through marriage, pregnancy, or service in the armed forces, or by a court order, and is legally capable of signing an informed consent.